just bugging.
Hey guys, it's Dalton, and before this video started, I just wanted to show you guys our new merch. We have all new merch out for the Orange Crush, which was the 1974 Super Beetle that we worked on for a while. Also, we forgot to mention that we found out about the Orange Crush winning at Bug Jam. It actually won 3rd place, which was really cool, so we did get all 3 for 3. All cars that we brought to Bug Jam did win an award, which is really cool. But if you guys really enjoyed that car and you like the design, then go check out the new merch on the website. Alright, on with the video.
Hey guys, I'm back on PeeWEE. I got the flywheel off because we had a small leak coming from the rear main while we were in the break-in. So I was trying to figure out the cause, and then I formed when they started to put the O-ring in, and apparently it's late 1966. So apparently this doesn't get the O-ring. Now this is an old rusty flywheel. If you see inside here, you get a pick, there's where the O-ring goes on this style flywheel, which is a 200 millimeter, and that would be the O-ring that goes in there. And there was one in here and I picked it out. Now this is the one under an 80 millimeter flywheel, 6 volt for a 1961 Beetle, and it was a stock matching numbers motor, and it has a step in it. There is no spot for an O-ring, it has a step in it. And from what I understand, there is at one point you use the paper gasket. I watched a video from, I think it was Mark FN Garage from Dalton will put it up. And this apparently is where you need to use the paper gasket. So I'm going to clean all the surfaces up, put some a paper gasket in there, and I'm gonna pop out that seal. I think it went in too far also. I know it is. It should just be flush with the case or just slightly inward. This is pushed in much too far. And I think the cause was when we put it on, these dowel pins weren't in there, and you see that the dowel pins is how it places itself. You're supposed to put this down until it deadheads. So this is the surface for the dowel pins not to hit, and so we'll see. I'm gonna put that on. So that's where we're at. I don't see too many people doing a video on these old flywheels, so I figured I'd put that information in there if you're having the same problem or questions about the differences in the flywheels and the O-ring versus paper gasket. And there's apparently a steel gasket with the holes in it, but this one would be requiring the paper from what I understand. So let me get back to it. Good morning all you fine VW lovers out there. Got the ghetto yard lawnmower ready to haul PeeWEE around to the car, and we are going to install PeeWEE's motor today. We've got to get this in today because Pat's gonna come and give me a hand. Oh. Hey guys, we got PeeWEE up in here. It was a booger, being that it's white and everything, and trying to get it around the new seal. And yeah, I can see I'm gonna end up trimming it right where the pipes are, because you'll usually smell that rubber burning right there. Cut a little half moon shape there. Yep, so we're bolting it down, and I'll probably get back to it. I've got to jump on some buffing today, so that's as far as we're gonna get with PeeWEE today, is bolting it in here. Hey guys, I'm back on PeeWEE. As you see, of course the motor's up in there. I got under it today and filled the swing axle with gear oil, brand new 80/90, so we're good to go there. Got the new starter installed, and I got our heater boxes hooked up with tubes, and all the wiring's hooked up. So I'm going to get to the battery and hook up the shifter shaft and the coupler and reverse light, set up the part that pushes down on the button to actuate the light, or turn the light on, should I say. So that's what we got going today. Gotta get PeeWEE back in here running and all, and I'll get that belt on. I think I want to touch up the pulley a little bit, so let's get it going. Hey guys, we've got PeeWEE running in the car now. No leaks, good to go. Still kind of struggles to start up on 6 volt because, you know, fresh rebuilt motor, it's gonna have to break in a little bit, be a little easier for 6 volts to start it up. I had the same problem with a 54, but of course that was a V8. That was had a hell of a time getting that to break in and get from an 8 volt battery back to a 6, because it had to be exactly original. And she wants it to stay the same in this one too. So we're getting it all fine tuned and make sure everything's right. And we'll get this back on the ground, and maybe tomorrow drive it around a little bit. So that's where we're at with PeeWEE. All right, guys, we got the clutch all adjusted, and brakes bled because I, had the swing axle out. And we're gonna crank her up and back her out. Go ahead, Rick. Sweet. You like it, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, nice little car.
Yep, good to go.
Oh yeah, I got to get that back tin back in there, the oil breather on it, and we've got a turn signal switch we got to order. We got a brake light stuck on, it's probably a pressure switch. Horn's not even wired up right, or wired up at all. So get all that done and then get this out of here and bring it back later for some cosmetic repairs and get those running boards off of it. Try to freshen up this original paint job. Probably paint these rims, and I've got to reposition these bumpers so these deck lids stop hitting, and the deck lid and the hood hits. And don't forget that. I have to remind myself all the time. They make a magnet that goes right here and reminds you not to fill the fuel neck up past the bottom of the neck.
Yeah.
And it says in the same place, it says raise hood first before lowering. So I want to get one of those. She's coming along nicely. Hey guys, I was tinkering with PeeWEE this morning, and I've got another one here, another bug this era, 65, the one that had 55,000 miles on it that I did the house call compression test with. And he's had multiple problems with trying to start it, and it'll just go click, click, click. And he goes, and sometimes you'll come in there and it starts right up, and it'll start a few times and then it'll do it again. And this one does the same thing, PeeWEE. And we bought a new starter, and the battery did fail load test, and then took it into the store and it failed their load test, so the battery was replaced. And the starter kept doing that on this one. So we replaced the starter, and it still did it. So I'm like, we got to figure out what the hell the problem with. I know the 6-volts suck, you know, it's just not a lot of power for the solenoid to kick out the gear and override the fact that they don't mesh completely. You know, the car stops when we turn the key off, and the teeth are in a different position. And they put this little cross cut, I don't know if you can see that. They put this little cross cut right here, and see it's angled, say like that, is the angle of the cut. And then, as you see, it's not straight across the tooth. It leaves a point in the center, like they grinded down the inside surface and then the outside surface of the same tooth and left a high spot there. So Rick got the idea. He says, you know, I think it just needs a little bit sharper pitch and then take that point off. Well, of course, I don't want to go messing with a brand new starter. I want to prove it to myself. We already did swap them out and everything, and either way, I'm going to still put this one back in it, but I will make the improvement now because I already reinstalled it, and I greased the gear up, and I greased the shaft up, and it starts every damn time. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. But, you know, the customer paid for the new starter, so I'm gonna go ahead, now that I see that it works, I'm gonna do the same to this one. So I took my little Dremel tool and took the point off of that one there, and then made it slightly at a, you know, more of a pitch on the cross cut. And then I polished it up with another stone in my nice kit of Dremel accessories. And I went and did every individual tooth all the way around. And then I greased it up and put grease on that spot all the way around. Grease this shaft up, grease this up and everything. Grease that little area there, or up there. You know, not a lot of grease. Stuck it back on there and voila. So I will be making this improvement to the 65 back there that does the identical same thing. So if y'all have that problem and, you know, you or the customer doesn't want to convert it to 12 volts, you know, if you convert it to 12 volts, you can leave the 6-volt starter in there. You're not going to have a problem with it. It can handle 12 volts all day long and it will last for years. I don't care what people say. I've heard it a million times and I've used them myself. But just, you know, if you're going to start your car that way, you eliminate everything else that's 12 volts off of the starter, and the motor will crank up and run, and then when you got it running, you can turn it back off and put everything. But, you know, why do that? But I'm just saying, I've done it that way to break in a motor before. So I'm going to do it on the 65, like I said, and but I'm going to go ahead and get this one done like that, and then pull that starter back out and put this one in there, and I'll show you that it'll work too. I almost guarantee it. All right, guys, I'm back on PeeWEE. If you recall, I had to make a little modification, or should I say improvement, to the gear on her original starter. and it worked great. The car just starts every time. So I explained the way they cross-cut this and the pitch on it. It just binds, and unless it's fully extended, it's not going to turn the flywheel over. So since I saw that it worked so well on that one, I'm gonna grind these down with a Dremel, just like. And take that little point out of the center of the tube. Instead of it going straight across, it goes up and then down. Midway, it starts reaching down. So I got the pitch that's gone. I've improved the pitch a little bit more, sharper. That one looks nice. And like I said, I'm taking that point out of the center and then increasing the pitch a little bit. And the last two's there. Usually take a whole lot off. Then I like to change it to a softer stone, polish it up a little bit. This one won't be as aggressive as the other one. And I'm just polishing it up a little bit. All right, that should do it. And take you, you don't have to go crazy with it. All right, and that's basically all I did to the old one. And starts every time. Let's see here. I haven't cranked it up. See? And it wouldn't do that before, so now give me a chance to disconnect the battery, pull the old starter out, slap the new one in there, which wasn't working before. Usually I had to come over here and put the motor on top dead center in order for it to help it start over and for the Bendix to go, for the gear to completely be extended so that it would lock in to the flywheel and turn it over. But this should give it more room to get in there when the teeth aren't, in line, and it works. So let's see. All right, guys, I got the new starter back up in there with my slight little modification. Put the battery back up. There we go. Hey guys, we're in PeeWEE, giving it a spin around the road. I'm getting used to the clutch. I just adjusted it again. Yeah, that's much better. About an inch and a half of play. That's what I want. They call for an inch. I think that's just a little too much. It's really what you like, but oh, that's perfect. Yeah, PeeWEE on the road again.
On the road again.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
In my Beetle, I'm gonna have some fun again.
And I can't wait to get on the road again.
I can't wait to get on the road again. Yeah, this is nice. If you get tired, you can take a seat right there, relax in your lazy boy recliner for two. I think the idle can go down now. Get back and set that, and then still need to wait until it's cool and set the choke, but the idle is too high. Nice. Oh yeah, I'm liking it. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Now we just change the turn signal lever that's broken and figure out why the brake lights are stuck on. Might be the sender, the pressure switch is stock, and I fortunately have some of those in stock. Back on PeeWEE, got everything running great, drives great on the road. Now we're with the electrical. Someone, I can't remember where it was, Ohio, whatever, had worked on this and replaced the wiring harness. And I guess they got to one point and just quit. So some of the lights worked, some didn't. No turn signals, no brake lights, so on and on. But the turn signal switch on the 6061 is different. I think 52 to 59 and 60, 61 is all by itself, and then 62 up. Well, the difference is the Snow-flake taillight. It just has one single double filament bulb, and so this has to do 3 functions. You're just gonna have your service light, park lights, running lights, whatever you wanna call them, and then it's gonna have a brake light, and then it's gonna have a turn signal. So the difference between 61 or 60 and 61 turn signal, it has 6 wires. So it's gonna have, I think, 2 more of these contacts on it than another one. We bought the one for 62, 65, said people have made it work. Haven't found out that information yet, except it's got to interrupt the connection. So when you turn the left turn signal on and you're hitting the brake, that this one side, say you turn the left turn signal on, will be blinking, and then when it's not blinking, it'll be your running light, and your brake light will be the right side, and vice versa. But never will you have a brake light on this turn signal side. So we got the blinkers working now, but we don't have brake lights because it goes through this circuit in the turn signal arm. So we got to open it up and seeing if there's something we can do, but I'm pretty sure if we open up the new one, we're gonna see these contacts, and I don't want to destroy a new one. It's almost 90 bucks. And the one that we need is not available. So before we go opening up the other one, I think it would be best to go and try to find an LED light. There's an LED light, usually they're around 5 volts. 6 volts will be plenty. And take this, I mean, you'd want to mess with this. This is really hard to find, these Snow-flake glass lenses. So I can pop this piece out and see this would be the top half of it. I'm thinking about drilling a hole right here and putting an LED light in. And then she'll never have that problem. She'll be blinking on this light, this bulb, and she'll get 2 brake lights, which I think is an advantage. These are small enough as it is, but it'd be nice for somebody to see 2 of them when you can hardly see these cars with 6 volts at night. They're dangerous to be driving around with 6 volts, and she wanted to keep it original, so, oh, there I go, leaving a tag on there. Damn. All right, I think I came up with a good plan with these tail lights. I'm gonna take one of these indicator lights. I looked at it, it's a 6 volt, and looked at the brightness, and it's not much brighter than the regular lights anyways. I mean, it's not much duller. So I'm going to drill a hole right about here and insert that in there with a bulb. It'll be fairly close to the glass, so it'll be nice, and it'll be at the top. So I think that'll work, and it's a quick fix, and it'll actually be a little safer because you'll have 2 brake lights instead of 1. And the blinker's still gonna blink, like I said. So I'm gonna try that out. Carefully get a hole in there and then grind it large enough to shove this in there with a good bite. And then there won't be a ground to this. This will be, the ground is here. Got the little tab on the bottom, put that up in there. So actually, it is grounded to that because this metal is grounded to this now because it's connected. And when this goes in here, it goes like this, and it pushes up against that. So I'm gonna have a ground there. So this is gonna be great. So all I'll have to do is put 1 wire around here, come up and through here, this hole, and then plug another wire in right here. So it'd probably be best to make sure that where I put that bulb is not going to interfere with this. It's a good thing I came over here and looked at that. I'm probably going to have to go on the side right there. So let me go get a marker. It's on there nicely. At least forgetting to cover up tags. All right, so my ground's going to be right there, and this is going to be right about there. Whoops. And I think my bulb will be fine right here. That'll work. I think that's a brilliant idea. I mean, fortunately, it's not converting to 12 volts. That would have been the answer. But then again, we're still winning 1 single bulb with dual filament. Now there's going to be 2 bulbs in there, so that's 3 function. All right, we'll see. All right, guys, I came up with my idea. Now I still might go to, which I will go to LED, but I wanted to find a fixture that's going to work, and then still, if it's something I can push into there, I can put it in there and seal it down. But right now I want to see it work with the small light in here. I mean, it was pretty bright, but we'll see what it looks like. But it'll already be wired, and you could use these fixtures, or I'm going to find LEDs, which I'm probably going to have to order off of Amazon, and it should go right in that hole. If not, I'll figure that one out. Yeah, I took a little piece of thick tar insulation, cut it small enough to put in here so my drill bit would never hit the glass. And this will give me my idea of my clearance and everything once I get the bulb that I want to put in it. But right now I'll make it function this way, and see if I like it. So, great idea. So this will solve the problem, or should solve the problem with the brake lights. So I'm gonna get me a wire and get it through there and get this one back together, and then I'll do the other one same way. Hey guys, we're gonna test drive PeeWEE around. I've got the brake lights working now. Got all the lights working actually. The fuel gauge, there's gonna have to get some more parts for that. I gotta look into that. And the horn, the ring was bad inside there, so her button that was under there, I'm wanting to get it back to her so she can test drive it and have some fun with it a little bit and see if there's any problems like a leak or something, you know, with the motor, and keep an eye on it. And then I'm gonna schedule her to bring it back for cosmetic repairs, probably replace the running boards, try to match the blemishes and buff this out, try to keep the same paint job. So, and I'll sandblast and paint the rims also. Guys, we're in PeeWEE and take it for a test drive. Runs great, really happy with it. Still got to figure out what's up with this fuel gauge. But I'm gonna give it back to her because it's got to come back for a whole lot of cosmetic work. And I'm gonna give it to her. I've got all the lights working and blinkers and brakes, so I'm gonna let her drive it around and see how it feels and let everything break in, make sure that there's no oil leaks, and if there is anything, I'll deal with it when it comes back. So still a lot of work to do to it, but not as far as mechanics, you know, driving, just a little bit of electrical. I want to hook up the reverse light on it, and other than that, I've got all the electrical working on that except that fuel gauge. Alright, other than cleaning it all up and getting my smudge marks off of it, she's looking really nice.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, just gotta clean it up a little bit. What?
Look at the dog.
But this sure is a nice old classic. I'm gonna sandblast the rims and paint them, and I'm gonna touch up all this. It looks like it's went up against something and it's pressed in, the whole fender. So. But we're not going to paint this right now. Maybe in the future we will. We're going to clean it up, make it more presentable. I'm going to try to buff it out, match some of the blemishes on the paint. So maybe in the future we'll paint it. She's going to enjoy it now.
Chill.
Hey, buddy. We got company.
Yeah, we do.
And the little dog likes the Beetle.
Watch out for Yipper Snake.
Where's he at? Oh. Boy, it drives nice. Hey man, you need a lift? Just a hop on in. Runs and drives great. I like it. Brakes are good too. I bled them all.
She does sound great.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I'm going to tell her she can come pick it up tomorrow afternoon.
I think she's set.
Huh?
I think she's set.
Yeah. We just need to detail it out. And like I said, it'll be back for other things, but it's good enough for her to go and drive it around and enjoy it for a little while and make note of anything else she thinks of that she wants to improve on. But if she sees that 65, she's going to want to paint it.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to paint it, but I mean, there's a lot more blemishes than you think until you get on it, especially with that fender on that side. That's a wrap. Yeah, it's on. Hey guys, the owner of PeeWEE is showing up. I didn't know if it was already on, and I pushed the button and then it was off. How are you?
She looks bright.
Yes, I cleaned her up. I didn't get a chance to try to buff one fender or so to see how it would come out.
It's exciting. And I
Yes.
can lift the hood.
Yes, ma'am.
It's beautiful.
And you can actually just reach in.
Did you get the air conditioner in?
Oh yes, I sure did. It's ice cold. There's your air conditioner.
And there's one on the other side too.
Yeah, I'm about to open that one. This is maximum.
Oh, it looks great. It'll come up without me hitting, huh?
It'll slightly rub on this, not much. Hold on, we gotta pull the... Yeah, I could tell that this car was rubbed up against something or hit something on the right-hand side. It must have been starting with the bumper. It's just slight. Because it turns out, and when you put this beside the 65, see how his lays down? Yeah, I finally got used to that. They have been tweaked and bent up, and I already straightened these out, but still it wouldn't make it go down. And then when I parked it beside that one, you could really tell the difference. And as you can see, something happened. I don't understand, because I see this,
Oh, yeah.
but right here, this is pushed in. The whole fender has been pushed in, and you can feel it when you try to shut the hood. It's actually affected this. See how it buckled right there? And there's not a buckle over there. This has been pushed over. I mean, if we get to painting or something, I can take a porta power and push this side out,
Okay.
and then just straighten this out, but with the fender
You can
off.
fix it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all
Yes,
I
ma'am.
care about.
And then I would sandblast these rims, but I wrote all that stuff down. Sandblast the rims and paint them the color car. I just love these. Trina shined them up and said one didn't shine as well as the others or something, but
And when do you want them back?
I'll figure it out and put it in a schedule. We'll discuss that. I wrote down a bunch of notes as to, now a couple of things. The fuel gauge still doesn't work. It's hooked up, but it just goes ding and it doesn't do anything. As far as determining whether it's the gauge, and I wouldn't recommend going and buying that gauge again, trying to get original. I would suggest that we just get a mechanical one, and they sell the sending units for like $19.95 and then like $35 or something for the other one, and then it's just a cable. You don't have to worry about electricity or anything. That's why it's not in the harness for it. I don't know why, if that was put in later, but all the wires were cut and there was paint on it. You know, when you saw the gauge in there, that all the wires, I don't know if it was originally in the car or not, but you can see that.
Put, put, put.
There you go. And I saved you on the $57 for the starter, because the starter did the same thing. And then my new builder, he says, Greg, let's change the pitch on the teeth of the starter. And I said, let's do it to the old one since we already have a new one. And I did it to it, and I put some grease on it and lubricated it and stuck it in there, and it would start every time. Then I'm on video and I'm trying to do it to the new one. I'm like, I'm gonna make the new one. She paid for the new one. I wanna make the new one do it. It wouldn't start like this. So I just slapped it in there and said, Trina, return this.
Okay. Let's take care of business.
How do you like it?
Love it.
And you see how the wiring was down underneath? Now, if I take a screwdriver out of this, now these were dangerous Snow-flake lenses. You can barely see the car at night. And then
How you been?
everyone's a custom big taillight. So when they come up on you, they think you're further away.
Okay.
And then at the last minute, they realize, no, she's right there. Well, when you turn a turn signal on, this turn signal on looks identical, but it's for 1962 to 68.
Okay.
60 and 61 is different than all other cars. So this one does not have the circuitry that goes through for your brake lights to work. So, and you can't get it. You look it up and Google it, it's unavailable. And if you can find one, it's $250, $300. He took apart the other one and we understand there's another circuit in it. So what it does is it interrupts when you turn the blinker on and then you hit the brakes. There's only a double filament bulb here and you're trying to get 3 functions out of a double filament bulb. So it has to give up something. So that one will blink and then this one will be your brake light, and you have no brake light over here. It just blinks, and maybe your service light will be the other one as it stops blinking. Well, the only way to get around that switch was for me to rewire the car. It's all in loom and it's up under the, you can't even find it, and it goes up to the front. And I had to open this up, and I used German parts. I used the indicator light of a gauge on the dash of another car. I have to replace 2 bulbs and a flasher in that because I can't get anything. That's the thing about not converting to 12 volt. If you need to get jump started, you can't get a jump start. No one has 6 volts. So you run into a lot of problems. If a bulb goes out, headlight, you're down until you find another one. That's something in the future, but I know you're gonna putt around in the neighborhood and everything. I don't think you're gonna be that concerned about it, and it's fine the way it is. But from now on, both of your lights work and brake lights, because I took the receptacle and the bulb, 6 volt bulb, out of a gauge that I had in the shop. I drilled a hole through the retainer that holds the actual one bulb and came in at an angle. And then I didn't want that to be your brake light because it's going to be small. Your lens has another lens on side of it, which was burgundy and very dark. And I'm like, how do you see this 6 volt bulb through that? So I chipped that out, and now it's real sparkly and nicer. Well, it made your lights brighter. So I switched the service light to the bulb I put in it and put your brake light on the big bulb with the filament. So now you have a big brake light, and then you're gonna have both brake lights and the blinker will work. So you don't have one brake light. So the only person that will ever know that is you, me, and maybe a really educated VW guy that goes, that's a 61, only one brake light should be working. But it's safer. You know, as safe as Snow-flake lenses can be because they're very small. You can see the difference between those and this, and that's a 65. So, but I'm really happy with it, and I can't believe that that starter did that, and I'm making a video of it so other guys that can't start their car, because the thing is when it throws the Bendix out, when it throws the gear out to the flywheel, if the flywheel just so happen to start where the teeth just don't fall right in, 12 volts can push it right in there and make that flywheel move a little bit. 6 volts is like, if I'm there, we're in luck, because the gear has to be fully extended before it starts spinning. So if it comes out and it kicks and it hits it a 1/4 inch away from being fully extended, it will not spin and force the flywheel to turn. So I made it just a little bit easier to get in between there, and boom, it does it every time now.
He looks good. You got the horn working?
Yes, but that's another thing. I have a list of all these things. Your dome light, that's not working yet.
Okay.
I was trying to make you legal where you could drive around. Then the fuel gauge and the horn, we have it wired, but it's here because when we opened up the steering wheel to replace this, we found you had parts missing in here to make the contact for it. Okay. So that's something I can, but you can still, this is what it was originally, the key has to be on.
Okay, got it.
It's right there. I had moved it up. It was kind of down here, and I'm driving, and when we were driving around, I was like, where'd it go? Oh. So I moved it up here. I was like, I had a hard time finding it. She's surely gonna have a hard time finding it. But the next time it comes here, I'll deal with this, and then the dome light. We put this ice in here to help. It's actually the material in the years of probably being in storage. Then this is what you're smelling is the material on the headliner and so forth.
So you're thinking we're gonna redo the headliner?
We could just that is a major job, but and the thing about it is if you do that, then your wife's gonna get what she wants. Because you know why?
Why? Because
if you pull the glass out, why not paint it?
Yeah, I agree.
To do the headliner, you have to pull the glass out. And so if you're gonna pull the glass out, you should paint it.
With the new seals, you might possibly see the old.
Oh, well, you're gonna see it. It was a repaint. It's been painted on the seals and they're already cracked. You know, I found out something from my new builder that I wasn't aware. The distance from here and here is different. And these 61s, if you ever find pop-outs for these, they're extremely expensive because that pop-out will not fit in this one. I didn't know that.
Were there pop-outs for the 59s? I don't remember a 59.
I couldn't tell you for sure. I'm working my way back there. Slowly but surely. I'm not really going to start accepting any more Super Beetle or anything newer than 1970, except for some people that have been waiting for me. So I want to keep working my way to the serious classics. Maybe a split window one day before I die. That'd be really nice.
That would be cool. Well, oval window wouldn't be
That's
bad.
the holy grail.
Now, it's a little loud.
It's a
love
new
the sound of it.
exhaust. That's a new muffler and then new tips. And also she's working on more compression now.
Okay.
Yeah. And these little boogers, 1200 cc's, have a lot more torque in them. They may not have a lot of horsepower, but they're peppy. So she's gonna feel it when she's gonna have to get used to the clutch because it'll jump. It's different than driving that 72.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. It doesn't have as much torque as that small motor on there.
Here's what's going on the tear.
Oh, that's cute. So what'd you think about this one?
Oh, nice.
You see the subtle change of the two-tone?
Yes.
Yeah, Dalton, when it first came here, he didn't even notice
I didn't even
it.
notice it.
Whoever repainted yours painted right over the seals.
Okay, so our car
Yeah.
is painted.
It's
on.
repainted. That's why you can see the paint on the rubber seals. I didn't notice it until we worked on it. It's not their original paint, so yeah. So instead of buffing it out, you might want to think about painting it. They keep telling me don't do another headliner.
Because they're painted.
You understand why they charge so much for it. People just get floored when they find out how much they charge for that. Place in Gainesville, you take the glass out, you strip the headliner, you wait 2 months on a waiting list, and then $900, $1,200, and they give it back to you with the headliner in and say, pay somebody to put the glass in. It takes 2 or 3 days to do one. Yeah. No, it's just ridiculous. But it is, when you do it, then you realize. I priced them at $500, $600 and spent 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And the sunroof was more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Orange Crush, I don't know if you've ever seen those videos of it. Yeah, that one, that's the one that schooled me on how to put one in the sunroof. But I think Chris Vallone out of California, I watched a lot of his videos and he's really informative and, you know, it's really easy to watch. That's the guy to talk to about Volkswagens in California. So you're anxious to drive. Get a little more air in here. PeeWEE's Voyage with the actual original owner. It's gonna have more pep. Oh, you're doing great. You're better than me, but I have big, huge feet. Look at that. I might have got the clutch right.
Which way?
It's got some pep to it. It's a little peppy, huh?
It is.
You can turn right.
Keep it in
Look
second.
at there. In second gear, too.
Yeah, PeeWEE
Yeah,
is
you
a good
did.
car for
Oh, yeah. But you feel good with the clutch?
Yes.
Yeah. I put it about where everybody wants it. About 1 inch, 1 1/4 play. I say 1 inch, 1.5. What's your little doggy? Hey, buddy.
Where's the owner?
I bled the brakes and everything, so they're adjusted. It feels good, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
It's a completely different experience than driving it off the lot from here.
It's been a long time since it had to feel like this. It's got some pep. It was kind of a wounded duck before. There we go.
Well, this is just as much fun as it could be.
You can turn right back in there and go back out it that same way if you want. That's good, right there.
PeeWEE has landed. It was great. Reminds me of 55 years ago.
That's cool.
That's great, isn't it?
It's great. Thank you so
Now,
much.
before you drive it every time, check the oil, and this paint will eventually all come off on the inside of there.
Okay.
Don't ever go by the first pull.
Okay. Pull it, wipe
Yeah,
it.
and if you go to check your oil, of course, if it's hot, you're not going to get an accurate reading. Don't add anything to it. But if you ever check it when it's hot and you can't hold the dipstick, then it's probably too hot,
Okay.
which I haven't seen that problem or anything with this. Go by your second or third when you pull the dipstick and put it back in until you see that twice. You know what I mean? Don't ever go by the first pull, okay?
Okay.
And that's all I could think of other than those two lights, how important they are. The generator light for the fan belt and the other one for the oil pressure. No problem, thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very
Thank
we
much.
will
you.
continue with
I
PeeWEE.
don't.
She's a beautiful car.
All right.
All right, y'all have a great day and enjoy. Let me know if you have any problems, and then write little things that concern you that's not, you know, urgent. Anything, if you feel urgent, give me a call. But any small things you say that you notice, hey, how about this when we get back to it? And I'll let you know. Y'all enjoy.
Have a good day.
Safe ride. Where are we headed, man?
We are going to PeeWEE to see what's wrong with her driver's seat. It won't stay where it's supposed to be, where she positions it won't lock into place. That's just that little primitive latch that puts a little, rod down into a notch. Choose which notch you want it.
Well, let's go fix it.
Yeah, let's go fix it. Hello. We're here to look at the driver's seat. How are you today?
You are so nice. I'm good.
Great. I love the cooler weather. Yeah, he's thinking about upgrading.
I did decide upgrading, so I did purchase this DJI Pocket 2 Creator Combo, so in the future, in a few weeks, expect better video quality, and I'll be easily able to film on the go anywhere.
Okay, what I have to do is I get in and I push my feet and I push it up. Now I can't get in it.
And it won't go back? Or
Well, I couldn't get it back. This is for me to sit on.
let me see what it's doing under here.
We got a big trip tomorrow.
This is about as far as it's supposed to go, unless they're putting that latch on top of that. No, they're not. You know those things don't hit, those tabs. That's why it doesn't latch. I didn't bring any tools. Do you have a pair of pliers? Yeah, I want to see if that'll work first. The teeth are bent downward and then one of them's missing.
I'll be driving along and it just slides back.
Yeah, because when you turn this lever down, it's supposed to touch the teeth are above it. If you can look down here, see that?
Oh, yes, I can.
See the teeth are below it. And then right here, there's one missing. It's broke the tooth off. This much easier. I got tired of playing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, one tooth is missing there. But if we bend these up, it gives you two spots on that thing. This is probably where she always sat, in that setting. Ooh, those back there are fun. That should do it.
Does it need any WD-40?
We could try some, let's try to put something on it. You have any lithium grease? Something thick instead of a spray. Ooh, looky there. Did they put a spring on this? Oh, okay.
Wait, Sam.
Wait a
Is that
minute.
an aha moment?
I have an aha moment, but since we have it off, let's put some grease on there. This spring is off. That's why the seat came off so easy, and that's why it won't move back and forth. This spring goes here and then hooks to the seat, so it helps you be able to pull it forward. And it probably doesn't help much to go backwards, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Huh. Learn something new every day.
I enjoyed your films from
Oh, yeah, we both watched.
He's just talking about upgrading to something that makes his
Life
camera
so much
look-
easier.
Make his camera look like a dinosaur.
There's this camera that's called the DJI Pocket 2,
Yeah.
and it's basically this and my gimbal out there
Yeah.
combined into one, and it's about this big.
Oh, wow.
How much does it cost?
$499.
That's not bad.
But that's not bad.
No.
But it comes with a wide angle lens that you can put on
I
it.
thought you were going to say 1,000.
Oh, no, not that bad at all.
Son-in-law bought one of these 360 GoPros.
Yeah, those are cool, the GoPro Max.
We took them to riding.
Yeah, and you could see everything around you.
Beautiful.
That is really cool.
This is good.
We need to have you meet him. He's coming in Sunday.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, that's
as far as
good.
yours goes, dog.
This is good.
Okay.
My concern was I'd be going riding along and all of
And then all of a
a
sudden it moves.
I'd
No,
be
it's
flinging
good
back
now.
and I couldn't reach the pedal.
And that spring should be this good. That spring's hooked up now. That's the first time I've seen the spring. I've never looked at the bottom of the spring. 61. This is the oldest bug I've done. There you go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, man, how'd that go?
Went pretty good. It was just something simple, stupid. The tabs were bent down where the lever goes down and catches them, and that was it. So just a free courtesy call for a good customer. Just can't seem to charge someone just to bend some tabs over and everything, and good conversation, good people.
Definitely.
That's how we do it here at Just Buggin. Yeah, she wants to go to Webster tomorrow with some friends with their convertibles, so hey, get the Ragtop ready, help them out.
Just bugging.
Just bugging.
Hey guys, it's Dalton. I know this was a long video, but if you guys enjoyed the content, then please hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. Also, if you guys liked the video, hit that like button. Comment down below what was your favorite part of the video. Have a just bugging of a day.
And from all of us here at Just Buggin', happy Thanksgiving.